It was showtime inside of TD Garden. Welcome to Celtics post-game live presented by your New England Ford dealers and Ford trucks. Chris Mannix, Amina Smith here with you. And the Celtics with a dominant win against the T-Wolves, 134-112. And the Celtics, they led by as much as 28 in tonight's matchup. Mannix, how did the Celtics dominate from start to finish?
Well, look, a lot of the same ways they've done for most of the last few months. Defensively, they got the job done, especially in that second quarter when they held the Timberwolves just 19 points. This is a Wolves team that's been one of the best in the NBA over the last few months. The Celtics in that second quarter just shut them down, took a 20-plus point lead into the half. They never surrendered that in this second half. They also cleaned up the turnovers they committed in that first quarter as well, got better at it. And Jayson Tatum, who is having an MVP caliber, use that phrase, MVP caliber last few months, he stepped up once again and played brilliantly. And so this Celtics team, it's tough to find any flaws in what they're doing. And with this Celtics win, the Sixers about to lose, where they just lost to the Suns, the Celtics are now number one in the East. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but let's send it out to Chris Forsberg, who is Jaylen Brown right now.
All right, here with Jaylen Brown. Jaylen, I know you said you're never satisfied, but do you ever allow yourself to just savor what's happening right now, the run you guys are on?
Just enjoying the moment. It feels good to win some games. So we just take it one game at a time. We smile, we have fun, and we just keep playing Celtic basketball.
People keep asking me, was there one moment, was there one thing that changed? What was it that when you guys, 80 days ago, 3 games under 500, what changed?
I think we just got healthy. I missed a lot of games early in the season. I missed about 15 games. My hamstring was bothering me a lot. I feel a little bit healthier. Our guys feel a little bit healthier. So we just got our feet under us a little bit more, and now we're here.
Depending on what happens in the Philly game, you guys will be the number 1 seed tonight. Does seeding matter to you? Would you like to push for that, home court, that sort of thing?
Seeding matters, of course, so we definitely want to take advantage of that. But at the same time, we're going to have to play who we have to play. The East is going to be a dogfight, so we're not running from nobody.
Tell me about that little Showtime play, Marcus going off the glass for you to alley-oop it.
Man, I don't know what be going through Marcus' mind half the time, but he threw it off. I told him my knee was hurting today, and he still threw it off the backboard, and I couldn't let him look bad, so I went and got it.
That knee going to be okay?
Yeah, it'll be all right.
So, you got the jersey swap with Anthony Edwards over there. What's it like going up against a young guy like that?
That's my guy. Anthony Edwards is the future. He works on his game. He's talented. He's got to keep going. So, be able to play coming from the same area. We played with the same AAU program growing up. So, we worked out in the summer. It's good to see him flourishing this year.
And last thing, what's it like to hear Jayson get those MVP chants and Ime's in the Coach of the Year conversation? How much would you like to see all of your guys?
We got a little respect around here. Jayson Tatum, MVP, Ime, Coach of the Year, Rob, Smart, first team all defense, defensive player of the year. We got to get some respect. We got to look at the numbers. We've been putting up numbers, so you can't turn away from it. We've been doing our job. It's time for everybody else to do theirs.
Thank you, Jaylen. Get that knee right.
Scal joining us live from inside of TD Garden. And Scal, let's go back to that first half. 72 points in the first half by the Celtics, the most points scored in a half all season long. Just how dominant did Boston look in this matchup?
Yeah, so I'm watching the first quarter, and the Celtics are turning the ball over, had 7 turnovers, and I look up, they have 34 points with 7 turnovers, and right there I was like, man, this thing is about to be over. Karl-Anthony Towns goes to the bench, the Celtics go on a huge run in the second quarter, and this thing is over from there, and it's one of those things where they're going to go on a run, they're going to flex on teams, they're going to defensively, they're going to wear you out, and then all of a sudden you have to now fight and get back into the game, and that's the reason why the Celtics keep having these double-digit 20-point wins, because they're 1 or 2 runs away, and it's hard for other teams to even get anywhere close back into the game. And when they're moving the ball the way they are, they're a tough team to beat, especially in this building.
Yeah, and let's not undersell the team that they just beat. Minnesota has played like one of the best teams in the NBA in the second half of the season, while the Celtics have been just bludgeoning teams. The Timberwolves have had a lot of success at double-digit wins themselves over these last few months. And the Celtics, what separates them to me, Scal, is just their ability to turn it on defensively. I mean, offensively, they're doing some remarkable things right now, but their bread and butter has been the defensive end of the floor during this stretch. And you look at that second quarter where Minnesota had just 19 points. The Celtics committed just one turnover, which prevented Minnesota from getting a lot of those easy opportunities they had in the first quarter. For Boston to be able to just flip a switch and be that good defensively, it just makes them really tough to be able to beat.
Here's a look at the Eastern Conference standings and where the Celtics stand right now. You see them in that #1 spot in the East. You see them kind of tied there with the Heat, but they own the tiebreaker over the Miami Heat, who they play on Wednesday. Scal, when you take a look at this Celtics team, just how legitimate of a threat are they once we get into the playoffs?
Well, I don't know. Let's ask Chris Mannix, who, about 60 days ago, I don't know where you've been, Tijuana Jack, but I just know, are you still on the trade Marcus Smart? He's not the playmaker that the Celtics need? Or are you like, wait a minute, Scal said that Tatum and Brown can run the show and they can be playmakers. So where are you at now, Tijuana Jack?
Stop. Okay. Tijuana Jack was dumb like 3 weeks ago.
Scal's been waiting for you to come. He's been waiting for you to come.
Where you been?
No, I am
in Costa Rica. Where you been doing boxing
I'm way off.
Ukraine?
Wow, okay. I am way off the trade Marcus Smart type of stuff. I admitted defeat on that one a long time ago. Marcus Smart is legit as a top playmaker. When Marcus Smart is out there and able to be that good offensively, the Celtics are a different defensive team than they've been at any point over the last 10 years. I mean, during the Brad Stevens run, Scal, they had some great defensive teams, but they always had to scheme around a defensive liability at point guard, whether it was Isaiah Thomas or Kyrie Irving or Kemba Walker. With Marcus Smart, you see they just switch 1 through 5 every single time they're out there. And when you can do that, I use this phrase in the pregame show, but it does strike fear in the hearts of some, I'll call them assistant coaches in the NBA, because that's a tough team to score on, one that can switch so seamlessly on the defensive end of the floor.
So, Amina, let me translate for you. Basically, everything Scal said from last year at the free agency, all the way through the trade deadline, all the way till now. The same thing I've been talking about. I've been talking about him on the defensive end.
Hold on. This is like, no, here's what you're doing. You're acting like Brown and Tatum have emerged as like Scottie Pippen-esque playmakers. They have been better, but the key is Smart. Smart has been the guy that even when he's not collecting assists, his ability to make the extra pass, not commit costly turnovers, not shoot like 10 3-pointers a game like we've seen him do at times in the past, that's been the biggest thing. I'll admit fault on that one. I whiffed on that one. I'm not going to sit here, though, and let you rack up the points on things that don't really exist.
No, Tijuana Jack, I just want to know where you stood. I don't know. Maybe you're still going down with the ship.
I was there for like 2 days.
No. You didn't go to All-Star, and it was like, I didn't see you for 3 weeks afterwards. So I just thought you got stuck in TJ. I don't know what you were doing. You were drinking at a bar by yourself, wondering about Marcus Smart. So I don't know what happened, man.
Scal's been waiting for this moment for you to be back here.
I was selling Marcus Smart NFTs down.
He was literally asking, begging for you to be back on the show. All right, thanks so much, Scal. Let's send out to Chris Forsberg, who's with Ime Udoka right now.
I asked it to Jaylen as well. In the moment, I guess, is it hard to savor what you guys have done? Do you ever get a chance to just step back those 3 days? Do you ever get a chance to savor it?
Not really. I mean, in the moment, like you said, we're trying to still build and move forward toward the playoffs. Looking at a lot of things and ways we can improve, and so you don't really take a step back. You're really looking forward. 8 more games. We want to continue to fine-tune a few things. We understand what we're doing, but more so than anything, we want to keep momentum going.
What happened to Rob out there, and what's the early prognosis?
Tweaked his knee. Don't know the specific play, and I don't know if he even remembers something specific that he did, but came out and felt some pain and immediately got checked out. And so he'll be getting looked at in the morning, scanned, and we'll know more then. Coaches
rarely get to get complacent or get the chance to savor. But what has impressed you the most about the way your team has responded since that, being 80 days ago, being 3 games under 500? Is there one thing that you look at and take the most joy out of? Consistency. I think we've had really good starts, so we've embraced the defensive mentality. We shared the ball offensively, so we've been consistent in all those areas pretty much for the most part. And so the areas that we really targeted to improve and grow on, guys have done that well and continue to do it. They see the results, and it becomes contagious. The unselfishness, the ball movement, the defensive mentality, so the consistency across the board in all those areas is what really stands out. And just last thing, going up to Toronto, have you planned on who you'll bring, who you'll keep back?
No, we haven't planned. We got some guys that obviously were banged up, probable going in, so we'll get them checked out now. And obviously Rob's situation, Al, with the personal reasons, won't be going, but we'll take a look at everybody else shortly.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.